Hey everybody, Jack Allen Willard. The video, the real reason why Adele postponed the Las Vegas shows. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's really easy to read, so all the excuses are not, in my view, the real excuses. Um, Adele did a video after her last minute cancellation of the grand opening of her Las Vegas shows. She is to be in Las Vegas residency for many months of each year for I don't know how many years the deal is for. And at the last moment, people had already spent a ton of money to travel in to see her. And they obviously had the expense of the hotel, food, and everything else, money that they're not going to be able to get back. And they don't have the kind of money Adele uh, has. So here she is with, a little bit of a crocodile tear, apologizing profusely. My show's not ready. My show's not ready. As Tim McGraw, the country legend, said, if you came out and sat on a stool and just sang your songs to the audience, they would be happy with that. But what I was seeing in that video that she did, and I know a little bit about this, was a full blown panic attack. A full blown panic attack. You feel that you have to be so awesome or you can't live with yourself. Everything has to be perfect by your standards. I would call it the Barbara Streisand complex. And the problem with the Barbara Streisand complex that I think is true of her is that she makes everyone around her miserable. I always said that Barbara Streisand she has incredible talent. She sings like a blue jay. She acts, she writes, she produces. Incredible talent. As a human being, she sucks. She'll walk right past you on the fan line. She'll charge an amazing amount of money to see you. Everything has to be, her way in life. Stop. We're not going to do the interview because the lighting is not right on me. Oh, all this crap. I can appreciate the talent of Barbara Streisand, but, I can also see who she really is. Now, I'm not saying Adele is a bad person. I don't know her. She's not from my era. I don't consider myself a fan. I've heard her sing. Beautiful voice. But for me, I come from an era just a little bit before this where it was the song that was the most important thing. It's the song. Yes, it's great that Elton John has a fantastic voice. To this day, he still sounds pretty good. But when I would hear a bad Elton John song, and I heard plenty of them on the albums over the years, what I would call the filler songs, where Bernie Taupin or Gary Osborne didn't seem to have much to say, and these were filler songs. And I said, well, I'm not going to waste my time listening to this because it's not a great song. We've lost what a great song is. We've lost. I listen to a little bit of pop radio. Every once in a while, I hear a great song. I do. And I hear talent in the performer. But so many times, and this is the reason The Voice has never produced one single star, not really, never produced one single star, is it's just, oh, let me come and show you how wonderful my range is. Let me go up high and you will just swoon. And it's not enough. It's not enough. So with Adele, what I saw was someone having a panic attack. And there's treatment for that. She may well be on treatment. But the idea, when it got close, she felt closed in. I betcha, she felt closed in. The pressure, oh, it's one thing to sign for millions of dollars, but now you've actually got to produce and you've got to do this. And if you start creating things in your head that, oh man, oh, they're not going to be happy with me. I just don't feel this is worthy of my legend. It's got to be better, and it's this one's fault, and it's that one's fault. No. Tim McGraw was saying that he has played shows where he was physically sick, even to the point of food poisoning. They had an IV in his arm on the tour bus. Now, to me, if a performer is physically sick like that, I understand postponing a show. And hopefully you can reschedule it very quickly, even if it's the next day, day after, if that is at all possible. But when you just say, "Oh, we'll push it back to November," well, November is going to come. These things have a way of coming around. July turns into August real fast. It's going to be happening real fast. September, and before you know it, November's here, and 6 months or whatever for the first stint. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Xanax will be enough. There's various kinds of panic attacks. For me, I have a different kind than maybe Adele would have. I would have something where I just freak out at things that I know in my soul I could control. I know that I could approach this a whole different way. And I find myself saying things and complaining about things that aren't going to change, for one thing. They aren't going to change. And may have heard the saying, you always hurt the one you love, or the ones you love the most. And I have done that with my family by some of my early choices, my selfish choices. And it's like a domino effect, and it lasts a lifetime. It can bring scars in those you love, and certainly in yourself, that can last a lifetime if you don't seek change really hard. If you don't seek change really hard. So when you agree to something like a massive deal in Las Vegas, you got to have a certain emotional makeup to pull this off. Donnie and Marie, my goodness, ever since an early age out there performing. And then for 10 or 11 years straight, Donnie and Marie were in Las Vegas, and everybody would come to see them because they're so much fun. And it was a lot of energy put into that show. Celine Dion, forever. She had the stamina. She had the emotional makeup to handle that, even though she went through some really tough times, and certainly is a great talent. So, and then I remember the old Matt Lauer interview with Tom Cruise where he's just against every possible drug and what have you. And here's a guy who believes in Scientology. And if Matt Lauer had started to list what Scientologists believe, he could have had a real battle on his hands. That's what would have happened. He might have got slugged by Tom Cruise. Dana Carvey did an excellent job of explaining, in matter-of-fact way, what they believe. But anyway, you can believe whatever you want to. This is the United States of America, and you choose your set of beliefs. You choose what you're going to accept. But Donnie and Marie for like 11 years, and now Donnie's back solo in Las Vegas, and it's just they have the drive to do it, and they have the emotional makeup to do it, and that's very, very important. But sometimes you do need a certain drug. There are people out there that had their whole lives turned around by lithium. They absolutely did. I know several people very closely that they were on the brink of disaster, the brink of total ruin, and they took lithium, and it's a whole new world for them. And I don't think there's anything that says that it's wrong to do that. So you have to be real careful, because there are people that they're just a little nervous personality, a little bit of anxiety, and there are people that have serious mental illness, and it needs to be treated. So Rosie O'Donnell, I'm going to confess to you, I used to be a big Rosie fan in the 90s. I went to the show numerous times. She told a story of being real sick before a comedy show, because she does stand-up comedy too. I don't agree with much on what Rosie says anymore. And as I studied her, I realized that she was kind of one person during the Rosie O'Donnell show and could be somebody else when that camera was off. And there's a lot of people like that. And we all have that in us, don't we? We all have that in us. But she was real sick. The audience was already seated. She had not canceled the show. And she now they were waiting, and she had to throw up. And she threw up in her dressing room bathroom and said, I'm going out right now. I got like a 45-minute window. I got a 45-minute window. And she came out there, and they had a puke bucket right beyond the curtain. And she explained what was going on and that she felt okay now, but it wasn't going to last. And she did her show, and then at a certain point, she told the audience, I can't do any more. And she ran off the stage and puked right beyond the curtain into the bucket. So that's a trooper. That's a trooper. I have to give Rosie credit for that. But yeah, a long stint like Elton John has done and like Barry Manilow has done. You know, I couldn't tell you any real songs from Adele. I've heard a few. Nothing Ever Moved Me. Nothing Ever Moved Me like Jazzman by Carole King, or I Haven't Got Time for the Pain from Carly Simon. To me, it's the song that's got to meet the great voice. It's got to be a song that in 40 or 50 years from now is still a great song. Build Me Up Buttercup. Kids know that song, and it was done in the 60s, and this is 2022 as I record this. So the real reason why Adele has postponed her Las Vegas shows, in my opinion, is that she suffers from severe panic attacks. We saw it in the award shows with her. Oh, the track didn't work right, and it was like she threw a tizzy. She threw a tizzy. You could see it all over her face. She couldn't mask it, and you might as well just tell the truth. If that would be the truth, you might as well just tell the truth. Some people don't have the emotional makeup to do a long stint in Las Vegas.